Hello lovelies, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma and today I'm excited to be bringing you my IndigAThon TBR. So for those that don't know, IndigAthon is a month-long readathon that runs throughout November and is hosted by the lovely Bear over at Etu Brody and Michelle at Thor Wants Another Letter. Both of those booktubers are quite new to me. I found them via this readathon and thought it sounded fantastic, so I am going to participate. I try and read quite diversely, but I have to admit I haven't really placed that much emphasis on reading from Indigenous authors. I kind of had a look back through to see if I had read from any, and I think the only one that cropped up was the Marrow Thieves by Cherie Jones, which I really enjoyed, by the way, highly recommend. It's YA dystopian and is fantastic. So I thought, what better way to acquaint myself with some amazing Indigenous authors than by participating in IndigAthon. Now, if you follow my channel, you'll know what I posted a TBR for Non-Fiction November earlier this week. So obviously I'm participating in many things in November. So I'm not going to commit to reading a book for all of the prompts, but I am going to give you a book for all of them minus one, but I'll explain that. And I am going to try and attempt to read all of those within 6 months. And then that way I can read all fresh books for next year's IndigAthon. I will, obviously, if I find an author that I like, I will read more from them as we go forward. But yeah, I thought I'd share with you the books that I've discovered. This is all quite new to me, so I did quite a lot of Googling to find some Indigenous authors. And yeah, let's get into the books. So there are 7 prompts for IndigAthon. So I'm going to run through them and tell you what I've chosen. But the first prompt is a poetry collection, and I don't read poetry. So I've decided not to do this one. I thought, what is the point in me reading a poetry collection by an Indigenous author just to likely not like it at the end of the month? It's just, it kind of defeats the object. So I'm not going to read a poetry collection. The second prompt is to read a book with an older protagonist. Now, I really struggled to find a book with an older protagonist, because it seemed to me that all the books that were flashing up as popular books by Indigenous authors were generally coming of age stories. But I did find one, and that was The Last Report of the Miracles at Little No Horse by Louise Erdrich. Now, Louise Erdrich has written quite a lot of books, so I'm hoping that I'll really like her, because I've also got her new one on my Kindle, The Night Watchman, I think it's called. So I'd love to read all of her stuff, because all of the premises sounded really interesting, but this was the only one I found with an older protagonist. And this follows a priest who's, I think, reaching the end of his life, and has held a secret for the whole of his life, and it's about that secret coming out. So it sounds quite interesting. I think it also has LGBTQ rep in it, which I also like to make sure is in my books. So yeah, I'm going to be picking that one up for the older protagonist prompt. The next on the list is a host recommendation. So I had a little look back in history, and I saw that last year Bear recommended, Bear recommended The Only Good Indians by Graeme Jones. This is a really well-known book, horror, loads of people have read it, it's supposed to be fantastic. So I will be picking that one up. I have actually requested it from my library, so hopefully that will be coming in soon. So I don't have one to show you, but that's the plan. Next is favourite colour on the cover. And so for that one, I'm going to be picking up Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, because yellow is my favourite colour. I know there's not loads of yellow on it, but I'm still counting it because I really want to read this book. This I do actually own. It's a fantasy. It's relatively new. I think it came out last year. I don't know super lots about it, but I know that it's to do with the eclipse and everything going a bit Pete Tong when the eclipse happens. I think it's multi-perspective as well, so we'll give this one a go. Yeah. The next prompt was to read a book by an author from your native land, which I don't think I can do because I'm British, so we don't have obviously Aboriginal people in Britain. So I've decided to just use this as a free pick. I've just picked a random book by an Indigenous author to use for this prompt. And the one that I'll be picking up for that is Where the Dead Sit Talking by Brandon Hobson. So I did get this one from my library, so it might be a bit shiny, apologies. This is a coming of age story. It sounds quite harrowing, about a young boy who goes into foster care after his mother is imprisoned and his parents had drug problems. So it's about him overcoming those memories from his past and those experiences from his past. And it sounds fantastic. Really keen to pick it up. And I really love this eagle on the cover. So yeah, this is the one for that one. Non-fiction, I'm going to actually be picking up a book by an Australian Aboriginal for this one. So all of the rest of those are Native Americans. This one is going to be an Aboriginal Australian author. And that book is Growing Up Aboriginal in Australia. And I forgot to write the author's name down. So you'll see it on the picture and it will be obviously in the description box below. But this is, as I say, a non-fiction account of someone growing up Aboriginal in Australia. And this has been on my TBR for quite some time. So I really, really want to get to this one. I think it could be really interesting. I think there's also other similar books in the series. So I think there's Growing Up with Disability or something like that as well. So if I like the flow of it, then I'll pick up more. But yeah, that's the one I'm going to pick up for non-fiction. And the last prompt is Indigenous Joy. So I didn't really know how to interpret this one. So I thought I'd just pick a book that has lots of positive praise for an Indigenous author. And that is There by Tommy Orange. Again, this is a book that I own. It's been on my shelf for a little while. I think I hauled it when I did my haul in September. And this one is about a Native American community who is hosting a powwow, and some dark stuff happens there, I believe. So yeah, as I say, this has had such high praise. I actually don't know if Tommy Orange has written anything else. I will look into that, but if I like this, then obviously that'll be an author that I also pick up, and I'm anticipating quite enjoying this one. So yeah, those are the books that I am planning on picking up for IndigAthon. This has been quite a quick video. I usually try and pick 2 per prompt, but because I'm so unfamiliar with Indigenous authors, I've just picked 1 per prompt, and then I am planning to learn more about Indigenous authors over the next 12 months so that hopefully next year I will be better prepared. But we've all got to start somewhere, haven't we? So that is that. So there's these 3 plus the other 3 that I don't own. And yeah, I shall let you know how I get on come the end of November. All right, thanks very much, guys. Bye.